Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the greatest female voices in the music industry, from the artists, songwriters, and producers, to managers and executives, and all the women who make the music industry what it is today. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome, friends, to another episode of Crazy Women Country. I'm Donna.
I'm Paula, and today we have Carrie Cunningham with us. How you doing?
Woo, I'm doing great. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Say what?
I said thank you very much for joining us.
I appreciate you guys bringing me on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's always fun. You never know what's going to happen. So, tell all our Crazy Women Country fans, who is Kerry?
Well, I am a singer-songwriter who currently lives in Nashville and Southern California. I go back and forth. When I say lives, because I literally have a place at both states. I've been doing music pretty much all my life as a singer, as a songwriter. I had a background in live sound engineering as well, and I just love being in music of all kinds, actually. So mainly country music, but I can write a lot of different styles. So
Cool. Perfect. That sounds amazing. Perfect. So I read your bio, and you have opened for some amazing women. Kelsey Ballerini, Casey Musgraves, Crystal Gale, Sugarland.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What was that like?
Well, every opening act that I've done for has been completely different, but they're all just so much fun. It's with like Casey Musgraves and Sugarland. They were out on their very first tour, and so that was really interesting to see them, on their very first single and to be part of that. Mm-hmm. And then to have somebody like Crystal Gale, a country legend, to have me open up for her was super, super exciting. Probably a big highlight of my career. Between her and Charlie Daniels giving me a huge shout out at his show, those two are probably my favorites. But she's super nice too, Crystal Gale. I thought we were going to go out for breakfast the next morning because we were just talking so much, and she was just so sweet and genuine.
Perfect. That sounds amazing.
It was.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I have to ask the question. Now, I know I've seen in your bio, like we were talking, about the auctioneer. Can you tell us a little bit about that on giving back?
Yes. So my whole life, I've always been a giver. I think it's just like in the stars or whatever. I'm an Aquarius, so I have to give to everybody. And that was one of my main focuses with music too, is just, writing music for people that really touch them. That's one of the main things that we do as singers and songwriters, right? And I still do. I still love writing to affect people, but I felt like I wasn't doing enough. And I had written, or not only was I a musician, but I had volunteered with CASA and Big Brothers and Big Sisters and Read Across America. I've been doing all of that for a good 20 plus years. And yet I still felt like there's still more for me out there. And so 2019, one particular year, actually, I'll back up. It was the end of 2018, and I was getting ready to, I started booking my shows for 2019, and things just weren't going as well as I had wanted them to. Things had started slowing down as far as getting the gigs, or I would get gigs that were so far away but not get any lined up so I could have a nice route. So I was very, very frustrated. And one night I just kind of had this moment where I just broke down and started crying out to the universe, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with my life? And I heard what I believed it was my grandfather, and he just whispered in my ear and he says, "Auctioneer, Carrie," and I'm like, "What are you talking about, auctioneering?" And I'm like, "Oh, duh." So my grandfather was an auctioneer, my great grandfather was an auctioneer, and it never ever dawned on me until that particular moment when he literally like whispered in my ear, and I was like, "Oh, that's how I can keep giving." You know, raise money for nonprofits, fundraisers, and for children, especially as I started diving more into the fundraising world or auctioneering world, and I started talking to more people. I kept bringing up children, and they're like, "Well, you should probably just focus on benefit fundraising, instead of just auctioneering in itself." Like I had never planned on going and being an auctioneer like my grandfather or my great grandfather and auctioning off cattle. I knew that it had to be in the fundraising world, but so I just started focusing on that, and so that's also another thing that I do. Because I really want to help out with children, and I want to help out, raise money, and then I really feel like I'm part of something, contributing. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so cool.
Thank you.
Perfect. So, hopefully I've got this right. We never know. Your most recent single, is that "Doors Don't Close"?
It was my most recent single.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm moving super fast. I'm releasing a single every month on the 11th of every month. And so Doors Don't Close was for April, and I'm actually May 13th releasing my premiere video for it. And for the month of May, the single is What Is Love. And for June, it will be a song called Just a Bar Thing. So it just depends on when you're talking to me, what the single is.
When we catch you, yeah, that's quick.
Yeah, no, so let me back up. The first one in January, was that the Showgirls?
So
how did that work out? Was it?
I'm encompassing all of them called the Showgirls series. Mm-hmm. And so January's song was called Click. And then February's was Happy to Me. March was the title track, Showgirl. And how all this came about was actually when I was driving home from my tour in 2019, and I was in Northern California somewhere. I had just finished up my tour, and I was coming home from the Pendleton Roundup in Pendleton, Oregon. And how that summer went was I was doing a lot of, like I said, jumping all over the country. Like I'd be in Colorado, then I would come to California, then I was in North Dakota, and then I come back, and then I go back to North Dakota, and then I was in Oregon and Washington. And so I was like at my wit's end. I was very, very frustrated, and I knew that 2019 was going to be like my last being on the road. That's what I was telling everybody. I'm like, I'm taking a break. I can't keep doing this anymore. And so I was just all alone driving home. I pull all my gear. I have a trailer. I load all the gear in there. I actually drove up to Washington, actually Oregon, and picked up my musicians. I flew in my guitar player from Nashville. We all met, and we kind of did the Northwest tour. And so I'm driving down California in my truck and my trailer after I dropped the boys off, and I just started thinking about my life as a musician and how hard it's going to be off the road, but yet mentally and physically and emotionally I needed to. And I just started writing Showgirl while I was on the road. And once I finished that song and I started thinking about going into the studio for 2020, it all just kind of formulated, and just said, you know what, we should just make this a series and just show different sides of me. And that's how come I came up with the series. And as the year goes on, you'll hear just different styles. Like What Is Love is is reggae, pop. You know, not something you would ever expect, especially after coming off with a ballad like Doors Don't Close. So
just give me fun. Perfect. I love that. That's such a great idea. It really is.
So I'm going to backtrack even more because I was going to tell you one of my favorite songs of yours is Karma's a Beach, just because it just brings perfect beach vibes too.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I had a great time writing that one with a couple other writers, John Kendall and Avram Topol. I had fun writing that back in. I think I wrote that one in. When did I release that one? 2018. So I wrote it in 2017. I had to think about it for a second. Like, when did that happen? So, but thank you. No, I really enjoy that one too, and especially if you're out on the beach. It adds different meaning to it. Or if you are in the Midwest somewhere and you can't get to a beach, you can at least pretend like you're at the beach.
Absolutely.
That's very cool. That is a really good idea.
What are you writing?
I'm sorry, just one moment, you guys. Would you let me?
Okay.
I'm in a meeting. Honey,
You didn't
I'm sorry.
say she was in a
I know,
meeting.
I'm in a meeting. Can you please shut the door? I'll talk to you when I'm done.
You
Thank you. I love you.
That's so cool.
My son just
No worries.
started-
We've gotten used to that with the whole, pandemic and everyone, popping in and out of videos. So yeah, we get very used to that.
He just got home from school, and so
Aw.
yeah.
No
I
worries.
told him that my husband and I told that we were really proud of him for something, but my husband didn't tell him what, and so he just comes barging in and he's like, "What are you proud of me about, Mom?"
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh,
So sweet.
that's so cute.
That is cute.
Aw.
That is cute. I love that. That's so great.
So tell us, who are some of the women that have inspired you to do music?
Oh, well, starting off from the very, very early age, there was a couple different women. First off, it was Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters. I used to watch their show religiously when I was growing up, and just the way that she was able to sing and perform and act, and everything was just amazing. I was like, oh, I want to be that when I grow up. And then as I started getting older, I was listening to Donna Summers, so I really got that disco feel going on in my veins, and I loved listening to and singing literally every day. I would sing along to Diana Ross and the Supremes, and also, the Mamas and the Papas. And so, and then it wasn't until the 90s when 90s female country hit that, then it was every female artist that was on the radio pretty much. I mean, I was just following, and it wasn't even really just country music, it was also pop music, because I was into Mariah Carey, and I was into En Vogue, so there was just, if it was a female artist, I was listening and trying to see if I can hit that range, or take things from them, especially even like Ella Fitzgerald in the jazz world. I just love her rich, deep timbre of her voice. And then you go to Mariah Carey, where she can hit 5 octaves. And so my range of influence literally was, you pull a genre and I could tell you, I could tell you who it was. So
That's very cool. Yeah.
yeah.
That's good. I mean, I think every artist probably takes something from somebody, and it's all different sort of genres, and it comes together, and that's how they build. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you think about like Donna Summers with her songs, even though she was disco, and I love disco, but she had such breathiness in her voice too. And when she would sing like "Love to Love You, Baby," it was just like, and just start to think like you're expressing this burst of air while you're saying this word. And it's like, whoa, it's just amazing.
That's an amazing thing to do. Yeah, that's cool.
Uh-oh. There's this
Uh-oh. We have lost Donna.
Where's mine?
Well, good thing Donna popped out. We'll wait a few seconds here.
Yeah, hopefully she should pop back. You can come say hi.
He's like, where's my iPad? And I'm like, I don't know.
Where'd you leave it last? Here we go. She's coming back.
Hi. How's everyone doing again?
you had frozen, so it was like, is she gonna come back? And he just popped out and it was like,
Yep. My apologies for popping out on you, Carrie.
That's okay.
It wasn't intentional. It's been a day of no internet, no electricity, chaos.
Oh.
You're not the first person to do it. I did it on the live, but I don't know what happened. I just vanished and came back in. It was quite funny. So.
Yeah.
At least this is recorded. Okay, that's cool. Perfect. So now Donna's back, we can do our quick fire questions. Yay!
Okay. All right.
Now these are just dead easy, people to get to know you just a little bit better, and they're fun. They're great fun. So, early bird or night owl?
Exhausted pigeon.
I love that. Early bird, night owl, everything all in one. Yeah, that's cool. What sitcom family would you be a member of?
Oh, what sitcom family? Quote unquote new girl, I guess. They're a family in themselves,
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah. Probably new girl.
So, if we had a look at your iPod, whatever holds music, what would be your guilty pleasure music? What would be hidden away in there?
Oh, hidden away. Well, especially since I said I listen to everything. I do have. Well, you could probably pull up some 40s swing, sing along with Kanye West in the next song.
I love that.
Yes, I would like to duplicate your iPod. Thank you.
We could do a show. Whose iPod is this? That'd be so cool.
Right. Yeah.
That'd be very cool. Okay, so what's the weirdest thing a fan, or crazy thing, or sweet thing a fan has ever done for you?
Oh goodness. Craziest thing or sweetest thing that a fan has ever done for me. Nothing's been really crazy, but I do have some really sweet fans that will send me things. Like I just got a gift yesterday from a fan, and I have a friend up in Washington who makes banana bread, and he sends me banana bread every year. And let's see here. I have some nice mellow fans. Nobody's like tried to do anything too terribly crazy. I mean, I had a stalker once, but you know what? That's in the past. That's in the way past. So. We don't talk about them. We do not publicize those kind of people.
They're hidden away somewhere. Okay. Boots or heels?
Depends on the day. But
That's a good answer.
But more likely boots. Yeah.
More likely boots. That's cool. What's your favourite drink?
Well, I'll tell you the drink I drink all the time, and that's water. But my favorite drink would be a brandy Alexander.
Oh, that sounds interesting. What is in that?
A little bit of brandy and like creme de cacao and see here, brandy, creme de cacao, and some heavy whipping cream. And I think that's it for the three. It's so good.
That sounds amazing. We should definitely get artists on to do these, some exotic drinks. That'd be so cool. Okay, what's your favourite holiday?
Ooh, I would have to say Easter.
Ah, that's very cool. Easter rocks. What's your favourite animal?
My favorite animal? I mean, I could go with something as simple as a dog, but let me think about this for a second. You know, when I was younger, it was easy. It'd be like, oh, it's a koala bear. But I'm not really like when it comes to animals. I'm more of a bird girl. Like I love birds.
Okay.
I love the sound of birds, and I have a lot of hummingbirds in my backyard, and I love
Oh
listening to,
wow.
sparrows and stuff. So I'm more of a bird girl.
More of a bird. So what's your favourite bird? Do you have one in particular, or is it?
I would have to say a cardinal because it's so beautiful and vibrant, and it reminds me of my grandmother. My grandmother loved cardinals, and it wasn't until last year that I'd actually seen a cardinal live. I'd never ever seen one
Mm.
uh, live before, and in a span of a week, when I was in Nashville, I saw three,
Wow.
and so I felt that it was my grandma, like just hanging out with me. So yeah, definitely a cardinal.
That's very cool. I love
We're gonna have
that.
to get you down here to Florida.
Really?
Yeah, there's like the exotic bird sanctuary here at my house that we get the cardinals, the blue jays, the woodpeckers, etc.
Yes.
So,
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
No, I used to live in Nebraska. I mean, the main bird that I always see was a robin. So robins were like the most popular bird in my world until I really started exploring it.
Yeah, that's very cool. So, if you could add someone to Mount Rushmore, who would it be and why?
Oh, very interesting question. Um, who would I add to Mount Rushmore? Dolly Parton.
We have to get her on. So many people said that. She has to be on.
when I'm at Mount Rushmore this year, I'm gonna have to just do them. Be like, hey everyone, we're here. We're gonna get Dolly up here now.
Yep.
Dolly's going to take over Mount Rushmore. There you go. Perfect. What was the first concert you ever went to?
It was Firehouse.
Oh, nice.
Remember that old rock band Firehouse? Yeah, it was in Spokane. I couldn't understand a dang word they were saying. I was up in like the nosebleed areas of the old Coliseum, so all I heard was rah, 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 rah. But I still remember it.
That's awesome. So even without any proper sound, it still made an impact on you. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite color?
Peach. It used to be red, but it's been changing to peach. Yeah.
It's mellowed.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll still throw out the red every once in a while. It catches people's attention, but you know.
Wonderful. So, what's the best thing since sliced bread?
Oh, the best thing since sliced bread. Let's see here. I love this question.
There are no wrong answers.
I know. Well, sometimes I have to say this. My husband's cooking because he's so good. Um, hmm. Let me think about this one. Yeah, I'm totally drawn a blank, and now I got my mind on my husband's brisket. He makes smoked brisket. It's amazing. He even built his own smoker. So
It is dinner time here on the East Coast. If he's making that, send some over. No.
You know when we go for dinner.
Yes, come on
Yeah.
over.
It's a bit of a long flight for me.
Oh. So if you could talk to anyone, dead or alive, who would you want to talk to, and what would you want to talk about?
Hmm.
I know I come with difficult questions. Sorry.
Yeah, you do. Jeez, I thought these were going to be like just off the spur of the top of my head. No, I have to really think about these. Um, Anybody, dead or alive? Hmm, I think I'm finding shockery in myself right now, even thinking this. But I think it would be probably like Marilyn Monroe. And the reason why is because like I listened to this. There's this podcast about her life, and I found it really, really fascinating. There's just so much about her that people just don't understand. And you know, when you're in the spotlight, people just assume things, and you know, nobody ever really gets to know a person. And even if they do know you, they don't really listen. They don't really hear your story or hear what's going on. So I would probably have to say, yeah, Marilyn.
That is very cool, actually. That's a great answer.
Yeah. So if you weren't doing music and the auctioneer and everything you're doing right now in your life, what would you be doing?
Well, to be honest, I joke around all the time and say that I'm gonna just stop what I'm doing. I'm gonna go work at an antique store. So I'd probably work at an antique store. I'm an old soul. I love vintage things. I love anything that has history tied to it. And so I'm always trying to figure out, where did this come from? Why is this here? It's all that stuff. So, yeah, definitely I'd work at a vintage store,
That's cool.
antique store.
Wonderful. So if you could be a Disney character, what character would you be?
Mulan.
That surprised me, actually. I wasn't expecting that one. There you go. I don't know what I was expecting, but Mulan, I was like, That's very cool.
Oh, so what's
Yeah.
your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Orange sherbet.
That was quick.
That was a quick one. I wasn't expecting it. So what's one of your favorite snacks?
Well, I love popcorn, and but I think really my favorite snack was probably just carrots and hummus.
I love that. That's so cool.
I can eat carrots and hummus all day long with a side of with a side of Reese's peanut butter cups, of course.
Yes.
Really? I love that. Just put the healthy stuff to one side and just eat the cups.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta balance it out, Just gotta balance it out.
Absolutely.
Like orange soda and Reese's peanut butter cups is how I got through or didn't get through high school. Like literally, I'd make sure that I at least had $1 in my pocket, and when I started to get hungry, I'd go and give me an orange soda and a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I was good to go.
That's definitely one way of getting through school. I love that. That's so cool.
Oh. Yeah, we're both Reese's fans, so yeah, I think we're all on the same page of that one.
Definitely love Reese's. Just can't get over here, but yeah, I love it.
Well, when they make like when they make holiday Reese's, and they change it into like an egg or something, it's not the same. It just does not taste the same as just a regular Reese's. It's like they changed something. They changed something. I'm like,
Yeah.
Then you just stick to the cup and that's it. It works.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's the amount of chocolate. I think it's that specific amount of chocolate, whatever the millimeter or whatever it is of chocolate on at the bottom and top, and yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's making my mouth water. I'm gonna have to go get me one when we're done.
That is so not fair.
No. So, hypothetically, if I came to you and said, I need to hide a body, do you know a good place?
To hide the body.
Or get rid of it, whatever. Yeah. Reminder, this is hypothetical.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, right. Okay.
This is putting the plan together. I know this is going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
I know.
Yes, I do. I do know a good place. Yes.
That's cool.
Let's just say that.
We don't go any further, we just know it's a yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So, what would be a good theme song for your life?
Oh gosh. You said that and literally like it's the end of the world as we know it popped into my head.
That's not a great thing, Tom.
Let's see here.
Is that your final answer? No.
I would probably have to say my own song, Showgirl, just because, it's the most raw and real about me as a person, just in my life. I would probably, have to say that one.
That's cool.
It's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
So, tell us or recommend for us a CD, album, single song that we should listen to before we die.
Okay. You should. Oh my goodness. I see his face. Why can I not think of. I hate that when that happens. Like when I see someone's face and I can't think of their name. I'm definitely a face person. Let me see here. Typing up the song. Oh, Leon Bridges. That's it. Leon Bridges. You guys know who Leon Bridges is? So Leon Bridges is an amazing, like, old soul pop singer, and I absolutely love his all his music. But he has there's a song called Mississippi Kisses that he does on his Coming Home album. But that is not the album I'm talking about. Got this.
It's a cool song.
He's got this. Shh, Leon, I did not give you permission to start playing now. He's got this. He's got this album called Good Thing right there. It's super good. Like, I'll turn that puppy on. It came out in 2018. I highly recommend listening to that album right there. I used to put it on when I'd have to drive to LA, and it would just take away all the traffic. I'd be just fine just listening to that song, just listening to that whole album.
That's cool. That's what we need. We need that album.
Yes.
Okay, so who is your favourite CWC host?
Now that's not even fair.
So fair.
Like I'm not even answering that. I mean, did you guys? I mean, you guys both. You can't say who's our favorite host.
I feel.
Each other up against each other. Wow.
No, it's normally the cat or the animals get the votes over us two. We don't get any votes.
Yeah, and today they've been quite quiet, laying around, whatever they're doing. They're just not even here.
I think a little bit of Bilbo's gone. Where are you behind, Bill?
See? I'm telling you, it's one of those days we don't have animals around today.
Come on,
Oh, there he is.
you're not running, buddy. You got to say hi.
Oh,
Look at me.
Oh, he is so cute. What's his name?
Bilbo.
Bilbo.
Isn't that Bilbo Baggins? Oh.
Yes. Oh, so adorable.
Need a haircut.
I have a Siberian Husky that's all white.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, she's too big to sit on my lap though.
no, they're never too big. They just fall off, you know.
She would squish me. She's massive.
There's a person under there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh.
So tell all our Crazy Women Country fans, what does the rest of 2021 look like for you?
Well, I am going to continue to put out a single a month, on the 11th of every month. And you can find all of them on my website or on Spotify or Apple Music or anywhere you listen to music. Just punch in Carrie Cunningham and you'll find the new releases that are coming out. I even have on my website a dedicated section called the Showgirls series, and if you go to there, you can click on each icon for the month and it'll take you to another page that will talk specifically about that song.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing, just releasing, and hopefully get some auction gigs going on, and just enjoy life.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a really good plan.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a plan. Perfect. So thank you so much for joining us. This has been great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Good.
So glad to have had you on today. Thank you.
So everybody, make sure you follow Kerry on all her socials. They will be below, and download each song each month.
Yes, please. Tell all your friends.
Yeah, tell everybody.
Tell everybody.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great.
Thank you. I appreciate it, you guys.
No worries. See you soon. Bye.
If you enjoyed today's episode of Crazy Women Country, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to click the subscribe button for new interviews weekly. And thank you, friends, for joining us today on Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter.